Rosenthal Daily, where we're ready for 8 days of football out of 10. Oh my gosh. I'm Gregg Rosenthal in the Chris Wesseling podcast studio. I'm with my friend Cynthia Frelund, and yes, it's your favorite time of the week, Cynthia. We're going to make 3 picks against the spread.
Well, today we're matching.
Yes.
So, I mean, we got our producer pointed that out to us, so I had to point it out too. But I'm wearing the hat because I haven't been to makeup yet, and I have a big zit on my face.
Oh, you look beautiful, but
Nope.
I like the look with the hat. Little,
You know, but it's a fun like, holiday hat. It's a little soft, and it works. I think. I feel like it really adds to the ambiance.
Yes, and most of our listeners are as podcast listeners, but the YouTube numbers are growing. We appreciate you all. I saw the subscribers went over 50K. Let's get up numbers game.
We're at 10K at numbers game.
Let's
go.
Get that
Come on,
going.
Numbers
Everyone
Game.
follow Cynthia there, and let's throw the records up from last week. Another successful week of man versus machine. We both went 2-1. I'm at 26-19 on the season. You're a couple games back, but you're well in the green, and so we're doing well. Let's keep it rolling. Let's have you go with the first pick.
All right. Right now, what are you seeing as the line for the Cincinnati Bengals against the Browns?
7.5 was the last time I saw it.
Yep. I think even though I hate that number, 7.5, just because it feels like, a little bit of disaster is annoying, I still really like it. So I'm going to go with the Cincinnati Bengals. I have a 9-point win, and my model's pretty conservative. So if I'm going that high, we just saw reports, Myles Garrett, not fully healthy. That's also good news. So if you're on my side of this equation, so I'm going with that one first. How do you feel about that one?
I like that. It scares me. I don't know what the line would be with Jameis, but the fact that it's Dorian Thompson-Robinson, DTR, makes you feel a lot better about it. I would imagine, is Jameis really worth 2 or 3 points over DTR? That's crazy, because to me, actually, he would be. I'm good with the Bengals now. If it was Bengals -6 even and Jameis was involved, I wouldn't want to get involved just because of the variance factor.
Well, I've also got possibly no David Njoku, so it does make it a lot easier to defend Jerry Jeudy if he's pretty much the only pass-catching threat. So that's the other thing, too. Potentially no David Njoku, some banged-up defensive points. I think Joe Burrow he's out there trying to prove something. So, again, I don't love that number as a number, 7.5. Ugh, the hook. Woof. But
right, and a team
I'm in it. I'm in.
that at times they've had some trouble with. And yeah, I do think it matters when you get this late in the season.
Heck yeah.
And you have one team that is playing for something.
Yep.
The Bengals have a very realistic chance to be alive in the playoff hunt in Week 18. Now, whether they could get everything to work out for them, we'll see. But if they can win this week,
they get a pulse, baby.
They get Denver next week, and they could basically stay alive by beating Denver. And then you get to Week 18, and you never know. So I like that.
Have a pulse.
Okay, one of my favorite picks of the year. Right here.
Okay.
It's your Lions -6.5.
Oh dear God.
There's so much concern about what they don't have. Oh, they don't have this. They don't have that.
Well, yeah, they have 16 defensive players on IR.
You know when,
a lot.
You know when I'm concerned about that?
Winning.
When they play other good teams.
Correct.
The Detroit Lions are one of the best regular season teams I've ever seen. Now, they're not exactly that team anymore. The 2 losses they had last week weren't just regular players. Aleem McNeil was the most valuable player on their defensive line that was still healthy, and Carlton Davis is really important for what they do. I worry about that a little more longer term.
Yeah.
But let's not get carried away.
Nope.
Aleem McNeil and Carlton Davis are not moving the line X amount of points. Great teams respond.
Mm-hmm.
They're a great team.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing a dead Bears team. Thomas Brown, unfortunately, got put as a head coach where he would be better off probably just calling the plays. There's too much going on. I've watched the Bears offense the last couple weeks, and the progress that they were making under Thomas Brown seems to have backslid. Caleb Williams is a little lost. I actually think the Lions have enough up front still to be very competitive defensively in this game. And they're plenty healthy on offense. I miss David Montgomery, but in this game, it's not going to matter that much. I would say my over-under for Lions offensive points in this game is about 37. They are going to want to shut everyone up. They're going to have the best pregame speech. They're going to be as focused as possible after that loss. I just think we get the very best of the Lions. So I honestly we can't do this on this show, but if you're out there and you're actually
in the world
doing things, you can make alternate lines on your own. I would jack this thing up,
okay,
and see if we can go way over it.
Woo.
Because that's how I feel about this Lions team. I'm going about 37-17. That feels great to me.
Well, your lips to whoever's in charge's ears, and I hope that plays out like that. I am not putting them as one of my favorites.
Okay.
I do have that happening.
Has nothing to do with you being a Lions fan. This was really the one when I was like, okay, who are the Lions? Oh, I was like, oh,
That's
Bears?
incredible.
That's going to be -10, right? And it's like, no, it's -6.5. I love that. I think that's a great number.
That's an incredible one. Okay, I'm sticking to my theme. I have a theme this week, and that's teams that are hungry for a playoff berth against teams that maybe aren't. Got it?
I love it.
Well, this team's already in the playoffs. They've already won their division, but they're looking at the 1 seed. That's the Bills. They are 14
wow.
favorites. At least was it 14 or 14
They're
and a half?
14, yeah.
Okay. I don't care. They're playing at home. They're playing the Patriots. I'm not saying that I don't think the Patriots are good. I'm saying I think the Bills need to figure some things out with their passing game. And I think this will be the game that they're not going to experiment, but I think they're going to experiment. I don't think this is going to be a Josh Allen rushes for 60 yards type of game. I think this is going to be a game where they hand the ball off to James Cook, but they get in the end zone. They pass the ball to the intermediate level, but they get in the end zone. I know that Christian Gonzalez is really, really good. Don't get me wrong. I love him. But there's other places where you can pass the ball that aren't Christian Gonzalez. And this is a situation where if these Bills want to potentially kind of make up the ground, if there's any way that the Texans knock off the Chiefs, which I don't have happening, but we will already know that result by the time the Bills play, then I would expect big time by the Bills.
Wow. 14. That's a lot.
Sometimes I'm only going by the math, man.
Yeah, I love it. The Bills offense. Yeah, if I said 37 was about my over-under for Lions points, that's about the same for Bills against the Patriots. The risk would be Drake May is playing at a high level, not getting a lot of help, but could they get some?
But they need to prove some stuff
late
on
garbage time
too. And this is at home.
I like it. I mean, I don't love it, but I like it. I like it because you did it, and I like whatever you do, Cynthia. Even if you're going against my Patriots, I see what you did.
I'm not going against your Patriots.
I have 3 other games written down, and I'm struggling with which to pick. But over the course of this season, fading the Cowboys has been a winning proposition for us.
That's been the move.
Now, lately, I haven't been for the most part, and their defense is really playing better since Micah Parsons is back. But I think the Bucs indoors, I know it's in Dallas, but I'm not giving them much credit for home field advantage. I'd rather
12.5 points.
I'd rather have
less.
a climate-controlled environment for an elite offense, and that's what the Buccaneers are with Liam Cohen and Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans going for 1,000 yards, and the way their offensive line is playing. So I think this is the rare team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are favored by 4 in Dallas, that they can really slow down what the Cowboys do well. And the numbers would say the Cowboys are actually one of, if not the best pass rush team in the league since Parsons got back. They are that good.
Absolutely.
And that's kept them in games. That's helped them win last week against Carolina. But Tampa's offensive line is kind of a story that hasn't been talked about that much. Gedeke and Wirfs are as good as a tackle duo as there is. They might have some Pro Bowlers on the inside with Cody Mock. Like, they're really good. And so I think they can mitigate the one thing Dallas is special about. Cowboys have figured some things out offensively. So it's why I was saying I'm struggling between these 3. I don't love any of my other picks, but I do think Tampa Bay -4. When I go to bed Saturday night, I'm feeling easy that's one of my 3 man versus model picks. And you might have to stay up late, on the East Coast to watch this, because I don't think it's going to be some sort of blowout, but I think they win by 7 or 8 and they get it done for me and get me another win. All right, give me your third.
I like that one a ton, but
you could do that as well if you want.
No, it's okay. I think we should. I don't love it, but I like it a lot.
You're trying to catch up, I see.
Yeah. So, in an interesting turn of events, I know that it's always, divisional games, got to throw out the record, but this could potentially be the Eagles' last away game until the freaking Super Bowl. Think about it. If they go into whatever they,
FedEx Field?
But it's where is it? Landover? Where is it?
It's in Landover, Maryland.
Thank you. Landover, Maryland. Because I know there was a big fight over, they wanted to move it back to D.C. Elon Musk said no, it's not going to anyways. But I was reading about that earlier. But ultimately, they go into Landover, they take the win by at least 3.5 points, by more than 3.5 points, and then they don't play on the road again until a potential Super Bowl. That is bananas.
That is scary for the rest of the NFC.
Yep.
They are a team that knows how to win games like they won against the Commanders the first time around. Now, if you remember, Jalen Hurts was quite sloppy in that game.
In the beginning of the game was not great.
And then by the end, just the physical dominance that they had on both lines just overwhelmed it. And they didn't even need great quarterback play. They have such a huge margin for error that I don't. Am I allowed to join you as that as my third pick? So you will see. I had 2 more picks written down.
I like it.
And
I just wanted to get more game, like another game in.
I just feel comfortable.
Yeah.
With that, not amazing because I think that line 3.5. Everyone loves that the way that the Eagles have looked. It looks too easy, and yet show me the good game that the Commanders have played against quality competition. Actually, show me the great Commanders game that they've played. Period. Over the last couple of months.
Okay,
it was the Titans.
Yeah.
I mean, they did what they needed to do.
But I don't know if I think that was a great team.
The fact that they stopped moving the ball against the Saints in the Superdome and let them back in that game coming off of their bye, I just don't think they're ready for this moment. And quietly, they've had some injuries on the offensive side that I think hurt them. Noah Brown and Austin Eckler being...
And Zach Ertz may not play.
It sounds like Zach Ertz is probably out for this game. So I'm going to go with you. Philly minus 3.5. I only have one Greggstra, as our producer Hytham would say this week. The Greggstras did well the last couple times I did them. I do like the Giants plus 8.5 in Atlanta.
Agreed.
It was actually my number 2 pick until I looked at the injury report, and they're not going to have Burns or Okereke in this game, it appears. They haven't been at practice this week, and if those guys get healthy, I actually like that one better than Philadelphia. But as of this taping, they're not at practice, and that's just too much. They're already so injured on the defensive side of the ball, and now you're taking away 2 of their best 3 remaining players. I hate taking a Falcons team with a rookie quarterback. 8.5 is just so much. It seems ridiculous to me. So if I had to choose a side, I'm still on the Giants, but it's just not one of my 3 favorite picks of the week. I jumped just over to your side. I'm sorry for doing that and taking your Eagles shine, but that is how I feel.
You're the one who has the box with the extras. So it's fine.
When I was talking about sleeping at night, when I go to sleep at night on Saturday, if I know Burns and Okereke aren't there on top of all the other problems that the Giants have, I just I don't want to bother with it. Although I do think they'll probably cover 8.5 with Drew Lock. I like Lock being in there better than DeVito.
Yeah, I mean, but I also think if Penix surprises them with some stuff, it could be 9 points. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it'll be some crazy thing, but last minute, they're trying some things at the end instead of a game, trying to do a game, a 2-minute drill in the middle of the second half and to try to learn some stuff, right? I don't understand this move necessarily. You were still a playoff contender.
Oh, I love the move.
I don't hate the move, but I don't understand. I guess I just don't quite. Why not put him in there a couple of times for a few change of pace drives, kind of like the Steelers do with Justin Fields, as opposed to full tilt being you down, you up.
Because
and he's a lefty versus a righty. That stuff all matters.
Just because Kirk gave him no choice in my mind. That he last week was the week that he just played like a guy with zero confidence. That he was almost begging to be taken out. I'm not locked into this game because I think Penix brings some real variance that you could tell me that they win by 25, and that wouldn't totally shock me because they are a better team. Their defense has been playing better. They could blow them out, but because of the variance, he's a rookie quarterback, and they're not that great a team either. They could lose the game outright. So I just ultimately didn't want to go there on this
Giants,
show.
Please listen to me. Don't win this game.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Don't win.
Get that one pick because you know what?
Don't win this game.
Oh, hell. Let's go for another Greggstra. I'm going to take the Raiders too -1 just in your support because the Raiders, they're going to help you out, Giants. They're going to mess up this draft pick and they're going to beat the Jaguars.
That is so Raiders.
Because they're playing so hard for Antonio Pierce. Every week it's a very competitive, spirited team.
Look,
and I don't know if
I
the
love
Jags are
AP, but AP, former Giant. There we go.
Yeah.
But
he can help out his own team.
Don't win the game.
Numbers Game is the
YouTube show.
The channel.
Yeah.
The show. Game Debut.
It's the other show.
On NFL Network, where we'll be picking all the games. You can catch that, too, on YouTube. The NFL feed sends it out as Week 16 picks, I believe. And
great. Whatever that is. Look for it.
Enjoy your family. Like I said, we got 8 days of NFL action out of 10. That is a wild stretch.
Let's go.
Start stretching.
Cynthia,
we got a lot of work to do.
Got a lot of work to do.
All right.
Sharpen the old pencil.
When Cynthia's burying my Patriots 2-touchdown underdogs on the road in Week 16, that's when you know football is back because they're done.